Greetings and welcome back once again to Campaign Leipzig with Ney at the Katzbach. So, where we left off, our lines had just collided and it was getting bloody quickly, with me having lost about maybe well over 1,000 skirmishers. So, without further ado, let's see what has happened. I routed them. I routed some of his cavalry. I'm surprised they didn't rout. Wow. I'm actually rather disappointed. The Cossacks have come up and continue to scream. There's dragoons who are charging me in the face. So they're attacking. There was obviously a lot more cavalry there than I was aware of. So he's naturally going to hit them in the side, hit them head on, and probably rout both squadrons. Over here, he's opening fire. Oof. That hurt. Over 100 men just blown away instantly. That battalion is now fully fatigued. Oof. What's he doing? Looks like he's starting to fall back, if only a little bit. So he's falling back and looking to rebuild his line. Ow! Throwing out just more skirmishers, including guard. He's falling back a bit more. He's probably going to look to blast them in the face. Yeah, as I said. Because they got caught out there. "48 men, another 40. Oof. Hmm. Blinking at my cavalry. Hmm. So again, paid a absolute bloody price. To get this far, and I'm continuing to pay a bloody price. But it looks like, for the most part, I've actually gained the upper hand in the cav fight somewhat. Which, with that being the case, that does open up some possibilities for me. Because what's the losses like at the moment? Pretty bad on my part. At 5,000 to his 2,000. Well, over 5,000 to be fair. And what? 5,200 odd? All things considered, considering I'm attacking across pretty open ground. Alright, so the cav fight over here didn't actually go too badly. 50 units undisorder out of 88, 20 units rally, 4 units recover fatigue, 26 routes, which is not happy for me. It looks like there was a chain route somewhere. Yeah, up there and up there. With a bit there. And then 5 units resupplied. So, let's have a look-see. So, one half squadron routes there. Pretty much this whole lead brigade of this division routes. Pretty much this lot route. So pretty much most of Carpentier's division has just routed. What else? They routed. They've routed. Where is... Yeah, they routed. Not surprising, considering. all of them routed, and they routed where? This way, of course, disordering and chaos, emitting chaos into the line, because why not? Otherwise, we're fairly okay from the looks of it. I could launch what? No, they wouldn't be able to go that way, would they? They would have to go there. Or they go that way, I think. Are you rallied? No, you're still disordered. His line is still holding, which is the problem. It's a case of how do I break this line without losing 2 million men in the process. General Monnier. Well, first things first, let's do the usual lead off. Howitzer. Horse artillery. First of the first foot, so you will shoot up there. As will you. You can't shoot because they're in the way. Where is your brigade leader? There he is. Samir, you will look. General Shimir will. Oh, Simmer. General Simmer will look to rally his brigade. That's pretty much routed. The Naples Horse Artillery. You are part of General Monier's brigade. You are part of Lederoux's division. Again, we are looking to try and reorder my entire force. And then we bring this horse battery up. We can't unlimber it, but it's there, which is all that matters in the end. So Naples artillery will shoot at them. Blast that Prussian guard. Blast those Prussians. It's time to bring these heavy guns forward. They're too far back at this point, and therefore of no use to me. Six powder horse, which is Naples horse artillery. Hit those guns. Hit them. Hello. That is a juicy target. That is a very juicy target. Italian horse battery. We'll shoot at them. What are you? You're foot artillery, so you will actually... I didn't want to do that, but hey-ho, I'll do it. Howitzer. See if you can knock out one of those. Nope. Alright, this battery will fairly point-blank range blast them, or do I blast on the hill? You know what? Blast them. Heavy foot battery will attempt to knock out a gun. Other foot battery, again, will attempt to knock out a gun. You will blast this lot. Ow. Alright, who? You cannot see anyone. You cannot see anyone. You can, however. And you can definitely be shooting. Alright, let's try and reorganise again. So what are you? You are 29th Lights. You are... The 136th will fall back and continue to try and rally. You're the 4th, 9th, and you two will go that way as well. Yep, they ran straight into the cavalry, disordering them. But then again, this force here is fairly cramped, unfortunately. It's fairly cramped up. Alright, let's do this. You will blast them. It wasn't huge amounts of losses to him, but losses are losses. I could hit him with the 144th and then possibly look to hit him with the one... this is General Rickard's division. And his division is pretty, not in a good spot, necessarily. Ow. And we disordered, of course we did. They've rallied. You haven't. None of you have. Get Siam to try and rally that lot. Saint-Germain. Yes, let's bring up who's... Well, that's my artillery done, because the only thing that... Oh, wait, no, it's not. Oh, yeah, it is, because no matter what I do, I can't get them to see. So, unless I do this. The 138th. I will commit forward the 138th. At least partially, anyway, with that battalion. Whoops. Messed up there because I thought that was, like here. But I didn't pay attention and note that it dropped down. Huh. Alright, Delmas. You are in at least... Yeah. Somewhat usable position. Let's do this properly again, shall we? Me and getting carried away as usual. Alright, let's do this. We will charge the 1st Squadron of the 9th Hussars into them. They will be supported by the 2nd Squadron of the 9th Hussars. 3rd Squadron of the 9th Hussars will charge at them. Hopefully, yes, supported by the 4th Squadron of the 9th Hussars. And then the various elements of the 4th Lancers and the 5th Hussars will move up to support. The Hessian Leibgarde the Hessians will lead forward. And we will bring up the various elements of them. And we'll move forward the Baden infantry as well. And then that would be Marchand moved forward for the most part. Who are you? You are 11th Chasseur. Further along, we could charge the 20th Hussar, 20th Chasseurs into him again. But I don't think, honestly, that would achieve a grand amount. If we think about it. Yeah, I honestly do not believe that will achieve a whole lot. Because let's think about it. If I charged, say, these 2 regiments into these 2 squadrons, rather, into them. Numbers are about even. Numbers are about even. Numbers are about even, but those are dragoons, so... And then, yeah, not worth it for the most part. But I want to keep the pressure up as much as I can. So again, the 11th. The 11th and the various elements of... you can go in there because you're part of them. That's entirely the 11th. Alright, 6th Lancers will come up. At least partially. We'll bring up the 4th Chasseur. And now we pull them back and then turn them. With 23rd and elements of the 24th, therefore facing that direction, supporting. It's a little cramped for my liking, but in this case, I think it's going to be fairly effective. Now, what do I want to do here? I could attack him, but then I think I'm going to be in a fairly dodgy position. Because think about it, I hit him, and then I will suffer essentially some flanking fire, but also I'll be vulnerable to a cavalry countercharge, so honestly I'm not going to do that. Instead I'll form we'll move the 144 here, at which point they will shoot at the dragoons. The 2nd Battalion will go there and basically we'll go there and look to reform. I'll form them into line. And there's nothing that I can see which would actually affect me, so yeah, I will do that. And then I'll open fire on them. Break off the skirmisher and then do that. And exchange with them. So again, 5,500 men to 2,500. 9 guns to 3. Yeah, all things considered, that's not too awful. It's pretty awful, but it could be a hell of a lot worse. Maybe not a lot worse, but still. It could still be worse. Um. All right. We will do. We'll pull my heavy cavalry back, and for one, we are looking to reorganize them. We'll place the 10th Cuirassier there. Can you be seen? No, you cannot. What about you? Yes, you can. What if you go there? You can only be seen by those guns, and they're facing the wrong direction, so... Now, these boys are going to have to make it... We have a good chunk of Ricard's division routing. I might have to move up Albert's, quote, reserves. For now, however, Albert will just commit his guns forward. We'll commit the guns forward and look to build another grand battery. You will fall back there. You are to advance. 4 men, 11 men. Zatucci is to remain where he is for now. Now then, what to do here? Could go up there and look to hit them. But then, actually, I'm not going to be vulnerable to the artillery. I could hit them, but then I'm going to be vulnerable to them. I hit there. You know what? I think I will do them up to there. These boys will form line and deploy skirmishers. Exchange with these Silesian Landwehr. Alright, you're unlimbered, you're unlimbered. We'll do that. And they failed. Of course they did. look to shove them back. Continue to look to rally them. The 122nd. Delmas will look to rally them. Lederer is attempting to rally that battalion. And obviously you can't shove them. So in this case, you are going to shoot at them. Yeah, can't shove them, but again, it's a case of I don't really want to shove them. All I really need is just the opportunity to get closer. My Italians are ready to go, just a little disordered. Over here we have an unholy mess that I have to clear up. It all comes down to the fact that this battalion just got blasted in the face repeatedly by guns. Now over here, if we go dupe, yeah, figured as much. They're basically waiting. But this is where this particular regiment can move up and look to drive them back. Especially when the 149th looks to flank. And then the rest of Rochambeau's division will move up. Let's see. go. And then we bring those up. So, they got shoved back. What are you? You are the third chasseur. You got routed. You can go there with them. The cavalry here is not really going to be able to do much, all things considered. I'm still happy that I'm sort of working round his flank for the most part. Hopefully, between the cavalry, Marchand, and the little bit of Ricard and Albert, I'll be able to crush this chunk of his flank, even if this lot fail. So yeah, routed, disordered. So I'm giving Blucher, while he is blasting me in the face and it hurts, he's not getting away with it scot-free. Or at least entirely scot-free. You will go that way and face there. I am going to probably shift Saint-Germain that direction. So I'm shifting my heavy cavalry entirely. So that when the time comes, it can possibly achieve a big breakthrough over here. General Blucher's division. Ney, you can look to try and rally those lot. So a couple of my battalions and cavalry units have just been mauled. Again, that unit which has lost 40% roughly is a prime example. But again, we're not out of it yet. General Messon has a whole brigade of 6 battalions he can commit forward. Now, I haven't even bothered with Pathod's division, and only Rochambeau's division is really committed at the moment. At least on this side of the river. What is it? It's 11:30, light rain. If only those dragoons weren't there, I would have moved these boys up and hit this lot in the flank. But I suppose if they're not careful, that is exactly what is going to happen. The Cossacks and the Bashkirs, for the most part, are losing the cavalry fight. First, second, third, and then fine. What I shouldn't have done, I should have probably kept my line not quite as spread out. As it is. Maybe concentrated a little bit more. But we shall see. I mean, that battalion there is in an appalling state. Same with that one. To be fair, that brigade is just in an appalling state. And it starts in an appalling state as well. Because of desertions, the battles during the spring. He could cav charge me, but it's a case of, does he really want that? Because if he does, I think he's going to get just surrounded by French cavalry. Still, 4,500 to 2,500. I've lost a good 2,000 more men. Which would essentially be that all those skirmishers he managed to run down last turn. So, yeah, I think I can live with that. All things considered. I think I can live with it. Is it pretty? No. Do I like it? Not really. But, all things considered, it could have been a lot worse. And I mean a hell of a lot worse. What can see you? You can and you can. You can't be seen. You can be seen again, but you can't be shot at. These allied guns are a pest. Are being real pests at the moment, unfortunately. Is there anything else that says, do this? This must be done. Surprisingly, not really. It's a case of, do I commit forward this lot now? And do I? No, I don't think I do. I just do not want to walk into all this blasted Russian artillery. Because it is a nightmare. What are you? 4 of the 14. Ow. You're the pretty much the entirety of the one of the 22nd, which is there. So what are you? Fusiliers of the Lieb Infantry Regiment 8. Lieb Grenadiers. First Fusiliers of the 1st East Prussian Regiment. 3rd Battalion of the 6th Silesian Landwehr. 2nd East Prussians. What else can we see? Anything else, really? Not Lieb Regiment, infantry. Infantry Regiment 8, which is these boys, which are their guard. So again, not brilliant, not the worst. I can't remember. Yes, I can. So these Neapolitan chasseurs should need to get ready in case of it being necessary for them to charge. The Italians will hopefully attack next turn if I can dislodge some of these over here. And then we will go with... You know what? Detach those skirmishers and just plink at them for a little bit. Got to try and reorganise. I've got way too many men running. Still, for now, let's push on to the melee phase. We'll lead over here with these boys. Oof. That hurt. But, as I suspected, he's got infantry sitting behind the woods, behind the stream. It makes sense he would be sitting here because, well, it would force me to fight through the woods, then it forces me to fight across the stream, and so on. I probably should not have done that now that I think about it, because I forgot to move General Harlot up, which means he is capturable quite easily. But I'll have to make do. So what are we fighting? 12th Jaeger, Vitebsk Infantry Regiment, Kozlov Infantry Regiment, 12th Jaeger, 22nd Jaeger. Still, if he's not careful, can we do it? No prediction. I did not want a no prediction. No predictions are bad for me. So no thank you. Skirmishers will evade the melee. I'm just getting plinked at, but I just simply drive him out of my way. You will look to hit them. Again, I'll get plinked at, but more importantly, I'm now right in front of those 12-pounders. There's the East Prussian Grenadier Battalion. East Prussian Grenadier Battalion. It comes down to a case of whether or not yeah, that was not worth it because disordered. Still, All things considered, it could have been worse. They can't melee because the general's over here. I can't melee them because, well, they're cavalry. No prediction. And then the 9th Hussars will do this, no prediction. Unfortunately for this lot now, I can continue if I wanted to, but do I really want to? Who can really react? They could, if they rally, that is. What if the 3rd pursues into them? And then the 4th squadron, nah, figured as much. They can charge this way with, what, 2 half squadron? 4, perhaps about 2 squadrons worth. They'll hit the flank of them, but I don't think they would do anything. Again, for the most part, I'm actually pretty happy with the situation. Cavalry-wise, so yeah, a good nearly 6,000 men for here. It's a little painful, but 5,600 to 2,600 roughly. He has, however, lost 9 guns to my 3, which is one big distinction, and he also had one of his brigade commanders killed. One of his cavalry brigade commanders was killed. Now, what he could do here is basically turn them and hit these boys in the flank, which will probably rout them. Still, if he doesn't, if I'm able to do what I want to do, which is rout this lot, hopefully, in the future, my cavalry should be able to hit them in the flank. And heavy cavalry into the flank is painful. Might as well do that. I lose 14 to his 10. Okay, I'll accept that. Because it... if I can clear out his skirmisher screen, it means I'm getting I can close to range and force that artillery off. So again, all things considered, I'm relatively happy. The fact that all this routed is a little unfortunate, but not surprising considering the 2nd Battalion of the 152nd line just ate cannon fire to the face. So again, all things considered, I can live with it. Anyway, I thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed once again. If you have, please consider hitting that thumbs up, subscribing, or leaving a comment. It's all appreciated. But until next time, which will be his turn 19 and then my turn 20. So we're all got about 16 turns left to go. Well, 17. Yeah, close enough. Anyway. So, until next time, once again, bye-bye for now.